Bizarre Brain Comics. Okay. Hello, Gary here for Bizarre Brain Comics. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics and talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and then examine the stories and the art. And this one time I want to look at, let's see, what year is this again? 86. This is The Adventures of The Adventures of Spencer Spook, #1. Ace Comics, 1986. Spencer Spook? Never heard of him. Nope, probably not. So let's see what the Big Book of Knowledge has to say about Spencer Spook. Okay. This is Ace Comics. Now I have not, in my research, I couldn't find anything about this incarnation of Ace Comics. I could only find stuff about the original Ace Comics from the Golden Age, from the 30s through the 40s, and this isn't that. I remember Ace Comics because they did, in the mid-80s, published for a couple of years, did stuff like Spencer Spook and a few other characters that were public domain, and it had a couple of original titles as well. So Spencer Spook, he first appeared in Gill Comics #21 in 1945. So he is a classic. And Spencer Spook was just a working ghost, scaring people for a living. He had a boss ghost, who had died in the 1700s. And it's speculated that might be George Washington. Well, we don't know. But Spencer was poor at scaring people. And he complained of his lot as a ghost, but he was glad to be a ghost rather than living. Well, because all the things he could do as a ghost. Though similar to him, he debuted before Casper the Friendly Ghost, who is much better known. Spencer was a regular feature in Gill Comics for about a decade, along with a host of other humor characters. And most of the creators working on Gill and other titles by this publisher were moonlighting animators, and he is now a public domain character. And when you see the style of the old reprint stuff, you can really believe that they're animators because it's a very animation style. And we'll see. Spencer Spook. Oh. Spencer Spook. Here you can get a better view of that cover. This is issue 1, and I also have issue 2. And I think those are the only 2 issues that I've got. There was I think about 6 that they came out with. And both of these covers are drawn by, and the lead story also is drawn by Pat Boyette. And it's written by Joe Gill. Now, we've talked about both of these guys before. Joe Gill is one of the most prolific comic writers and worked primarily for Charlton Comics. He did through the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and into the 80s. And he wrote for virtually, and he wrote most of the stuff that they produced at that time. From the Phantom to to the westerns, to you name it, he wrote for it, including some of the spooky stuff. Okay, and Pat Boyette, he worked also primarily for Charlton. I guess he did some stuff for DC, I think, but I don't think I've ever seen it, and I've only seen one part of one story that he did for Marvel. If he ever did anything else, I've never seen it. And he is the Pat Boyette. He did, of course, he did the Phantom. We first talked about him in Korg 70,000 BC, doing those cavemen. And he was a writer and artist as well. And he did some Jungle Gym and the Phantom. And he even did I think he did some of the humor stuff, because I think I have a Scooby-Doo that he drew. But there's no credit on it. But something about the artwork makes me think of him. Okay? And that's Pat Boyette. And then, of course, they both did some of this Ace stuff in the mid-'80s, which is independent. Now, this, here you see, kind of cutesy-looking ghost Spencer Spook is moving into this haunted house-looking place. Hey, look who's moving in. Yeah, it's Spencer Spook. Now, and the story that we're going to look at here, this is the first story, of course, presented in the Spencer Spook comic, but it is a little different than all the others. He's just a ghost, and he's got a job to do, and he's got his co-workers, and he goes to work haunting houses and the like. Okay, and doing whatever, and getting involved with the people and stuff. Well, this is a little different, because this is acknowledging. It's breaking the fourth wall, acknowledging that Spencer Spook is a comic character, and he pops out, which we'll see here. The Coming Capricorn, starring Spencer Spook. Here we see Spencer, and he is a world of trouble, being menaced by a wolf on one side and a crocodile on the other. See script, Joe Gill, and art Pat Boyette, editor Ron France. And then you hear the phone ring, and what's going on here? I better answer it. Be right back, Spencer. And like, and Spencer's is in dire straits. So he's kind of a cutesy guy. Wears the goofy hat. And then we see, well, this guy looks kind of like Will Shakespeare, except he's got polka dot pants. And he is the artist, and he's working on a Spencer Spook story. While Spencer's in dire straits. And the cartoonist, the boss, he has to go to a comic convention in New York. I said, "Sorry, Spencer, I'll be. Let's finish the story when I get back." And he goes, "Hey, there won't be any of me left here." So he comes right out of the comic strip. See, and this is interesting, because all the other Pat Boyette stuff was very realistic that I've showed here, and here. He is, even the airplane looks cartoonish. It's very, very cartoonish style. And the boss is surprised to see Spencer on the airplane, on the wing of the airplane. Kind of reminiscent of the Gremlin story from Twilight Zone. And here we go. Oh, at the Comic Con, and it's Marvel Comics. Obviously supposed to be Stan Lee, and the tall one whose head you never see because he's so tall is supposed to be Jim Shooter, but of course they're not. And see Spider-Man, Bugman. And so, we got to get the guy who draws Spencer Spook is coming to the convention. We got to get him. Got to come out. Got to kind of wait to get him. And here at DC, The guy there, oh, I can't remember who this guy's supposed to be. He wants to get Spencer also, so he gets Superman on the job, or Stuperman. You can see it looks just like Superman, except the S is reversed, so he's like Bizarro, and all the other characters like Ratman, and then they get together, Marvel and DC, and they trying to get hoop on the artist who does Spencer. They both want him, and of course, then they walk away and they've got knives in each other's backs. So they've been stabbing each other in the back. And here's Spencer. He's looking out for his buddy. They're offering him all kinds of money. He says, here you go. And he says, all this for 1 year? I said, year? This is for 1 page. So for some reason, everyone wants the artist on Spencer Spook. And they're each trying to woo him. Woo him while Spencer's trying to stop all this stuff. And the cartoonist here, he's imagining himself being praised as a hero on the parade and all this other stuff. And well, Spencer's not happy, and he calls Stuperman a big sissy and goes shaboom, which is supposed to be like Shazam, and starts chasing Spencer. And Spencer runs right into the Incredible Bulk. Boom. And he crashes and he crumbles the bulk. Oh, what the heck. Ghosts don't have shadows. He's the critic. He keeps popping up and saying little things, little funny things. Popping up, and who's that? And all the superheroes, all the characters from both companies are ganging up on Spencer. And now this is obviously supposed to be a real person, but I don't know who it is. I don't know who that is. And I probably might have recognized him back then. And Spencer's still trying to get him to get back and finish the story, while all the other characters are, it's a bird, it's a train, it's Spencer Spook. And he comes through with the train, has the boss draw a choo-choo train. He brings that out of the drawing and plows everybody under with the train. And here, Frankenstein monster and Superman on a crutch, the three Stooges, and Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name says, maybe I don't know what to do. Maybe they're bluffing, boss, because if he doesn't, saying if they don't come and work for them, he ain't going to get work anywhere. Is your offer still good? There it is. Just stop drawing Spencer. This is funny money. Ah, it's all fake. It's all fake. And there's the bug man. Spencer's trying to keep everyone out of the way so the guy can get back to work. Come, they're out to get me, boss. Oh, okay, we're getting back. Turn their back on everybody while everyone's pounding on Spencer. Spencer's pound. Everyone is after Spencer. They bag him up and then toss him out. Shaboom. But it turned out it wasn't Spencer. It was their own boss that they threw out the window. Everyone's fighting Spencer. Even cut him in two. Whoop. Won't keep. Oh. Publishers. And Spencer's still at it. That's John Byrne. And it's all just silly fun at a convention. So finally, they just kick the guy out. He goes back home so he can start finishing his Spencer Spook story. There's what, oh no, the crocodile ate Spencer. Wait a minute. Just kidding, boss. But you'd better draw another wolf, though, because the crocodile ate the wolf while they were gone. And that is a brief introduction to Spencer Spook. He looks more sheet-y here. Has more figure here. But then, here we take a brief look at this old Spencer Spook. This is originally from Gill 77 from 1951. And he definitely looks more sheety. A sheet kind of ghost here, so, and has a different kind of goofy hat. Everybody's got a goofy hat. some of the racial stereotypes probably aren't that good. It was the 50s. But you can see what I mean if you look at the really nice clean artwork. The border, I like the kind of a loose kind of border they do there. And that's reminiscent of the Pogo strip by Walt Kelly. But you can probably see these are very, very good, nice clean drawings, nice line work, and it is very animation friendly. And as I said, this stuff was drawn by moonlighting animators. So I can believe it. Because it really looks like animation. So that's all I've got for you for Spencer Spooks. Just a little fun, spooky thing. We'll probably do Casper sometime. There's a contrast. But I've said, I think I've only got these 2 issues. But I enjoyed it. And I kind of like the character. It's different than Casper, but similar. And I like that it is a classic. It wasn't some new concoction. So, thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Ooh, comment. And remember, comics, even the spooky ones, are art.